So what I've seen so far is mostly about waste management. And it's actually a big issue for us also. But our Russian colleagues mentioned that we have huge development in terms of legislation, and the future points to do is to make this legislation work. I mean, just to make all this system work in fact, so that we could have such processing systems as our colleagues mentioned in the latest presentations. So today I would like to pay a little bit of attention about what we do in Irkutsk, and actually in terms of saving the world, saving the environment, it's the task that might not be solved by the efforts of just one region. It's the efforts that might be solved by, it's the task that might be solved by the efforts of the whole world. So we would like to start the presentation with describing who we are. We're located in the heart of Eurasia. Irkutsk region is just quite big, big in area, but not quite big in population. Nevertheless, we have a huge industry. In terms of Russia, we produce a big amount of PVC, about 40% of sawn timber, about 35% of aluminum, 20% of electric power, most of commercial grade cellulose, etc. We mine a lot of minerals, oil and gas, and it's not bad in terms of economy. We're export-oriented region, and annually it's about $7 billion of income to the region. Could you please put on the next slide? It's new. During the year 2020, economy has shown some drop down, but not that big. And maybe it's not a thing to worry about what will be in the future. But all what I mentioned, that economy structure, it's not about just wins and that we took that big share of economy, that big share of production of that and that, but it's also about the problem. But what are the problems? Could you please put on the next slide? Oh, it's about the wins. We also succeed in pulling here some big players in food industry, in timber processing, in heavy metal industry, and so on. But today we are talking about small and medium enterprises and about green economy. Big players are usually very inert about becoming green, and because they're more keen to be more economic than green so far. Please put the next slide. And we are the agency that was established to attract big players and also to attract new development to the region. The new development is technologies, companies, but also knowledge and experts. And I'm really happy to find good experts and good expertise from Sweden today in waste management, which is also a big issue for us and a big task to solve. Next slide, please. So finally, well done economy, but maybe not also well done, but any economy has backsides. And what are our problems? What we are trying to solve? First of all, a big issue for us is ecological hazard of mass tourism. We have a big, we are one of the biggest tourist destinations in Russia, as most of tourists know Lake Baikal. And all of them try to reach most pristine destinations. And this is a big hazard to local ecosystems. Then,
yeah, Anton, would you like to say some final words for us to move forward, as we have B2B matching session at 1 o'clock already?
May I have 1 minute, okay? Could you please put the next slide? So how we try to solve this? In terms of ecotourism, we try to develop green solutions and planning tourist environment more or less in better way, in a sustainable way. Next slide, please. And trying to fight the sawdust problem, we have small companies that develop not only wood briquettes just to use it as fuel, but also make new technologies. They developed charcoal that is very useful for metal industry. Next slide, please. And also they use this charcoal as soil improver in Germany. Next slide, please. We also pay more attention about developing other ways to process new technologies for forestry. And we have a Forest Tech Accelerator, which we would like to welcome Swedish expertise, Swedish companies and investors to participate in. Next slide, please. Next 2 slides, please. In mining, which is a big issue for environment, we have also scientific institutions and companies that develop new technologies that allow to minimize amount of water used for enrichment of ores and next slide, please. And the key solution to find new technologies is using science. We have 4 universities and the Scientific Center of Russian Academy of Scientists. So what are the next developments we're trying to make is using sawdust as a initial material to produce organic protein feeds. Then green chemistry is a big issue. It's a big next development we're trying to make. And our chemistry institute is developing biodegradable plastics that leave no microplastics. And we believe it will be the next big move.